Hey everyone, and welcome back to AI Podcast. It's almost 2025. Can you believe it?
I know, right?
This year has been absolutely wild for AI.
Absolutely wild.
It's almost been like watching a sci-fi movie come to life right in front of us.
It really has.
But before we get too ahead of ourselves and start thinking about, flying cars and robot butlers,
Yeah.
let's take a look back at some of the biggest AI events that shaped 2024.
Yeah, let's rewind.
So, we've compiled a list of the top 10 AI events that really drove global AI adoption this year.
The events that really move the needle.
And I got to say, this list, it's like a time capsule.
It
It
is.
captures a pivotal year in AI history.
Absolutely, it's like a snapshot.
And it's full of exciting advancements,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
but it also highlights the need for careful consideration as AI becomes more and more integrated into our lives.
Right, we need to think about the implications.
So with that in mind, let's jump right into our number one event. Databricks securing a mind-blowing $10 billion in funding.
$10 billion. That's not a typo, folks.
That number is just hard to even fathom, right?
It's a staggering amount.
But it really shows us just how important data has become in the world of AI.
Data is the fuel that powers AI.
Exactly. And Databricks, they're all about building the tools and platforms that companies need to analyze their data and build AI applications.
They're the backbone of the AI data ecosystem.
So for our listeners who might not be familiar with Databricks, could you give us a quick breakdown of what they actually do?
Sure. Imagine you're trying to bake a cake, right? You've got all these ingredients, flour, sugar, eggs,
Mm-hmm.
but you need a recipe and a good mixing bowl to bring it all together.
Okay, I'm following.
Databricks is like that mixing bowl and recipe for companies that want to leverage their data for AI. They create the infrastructure that helps turn raw data into actionable insights.
That's a perfect analogy.
Thanks.
So Databricks is essentially empowering other companies to jump into the AI game,
Exactly. They're lowering the barrier to entry.
which makes me wonder, what kind of impact do you think this massive funding will have on the AI landscape as a whole?
Well, I think it's going to accelerate things, that's for sure. With $10 billion at their disposal, Databricks can attract the best talent, invest in cutting-edge research and development, and expand their reach even further. It's a win for them, obviously,
Yeah.
but it also has the potential to benefit the entire AI ecosystem.
It's like they've been given a rocket booster.
Exactly.
All right, let's blast off to number 2 on our list, another big player making a power move. Microsoft snapping up nearly 500,000 NVIDIA AI chips.
500,000, can you imagine?
That's a staggering number, even for a tech giant like Microsoft.
It tells you everything you need to know about Microsoft's ambitions in AI.
So why would they need so much processing power?
Well, training and running these increasingly complex AI models requires a ton of computing power.
So it's like they're stockpiling the fuel they need to power those AI engines.
Precisely. And they're doing it through their Azure cloud platform, which is becoming a major hub for AI development.
So is this move just about staying ahead in the cloud computing race? Or is there something more strategic at play?
It's definitely about competition, but it's also about anticipating the future. Microsoft sees AI as the next big wave in computing, and they're positioning themselves to be the leader in AI infrastructure and services. They're basically saying, if you want to be a part of the AI revolution, Azure is the place to be.
It's like they're building a giant AI playground.
Yeah.
Speaking of playgrounds, our number 3 event takes us to NeurIPS, the biggest AI research conference in the world. It's where the brightest minds in AI come together to share their latest findings and discuss the future of the field.
NeurIPS is like the Olympics of AI research. It's intense.
So what were some of the hot topics at this year's conference?
Well, a few themes really jumped out. Multimodal AI, reinforcement learning, and AI safety. These were the big ones.
Okay, let's break those down a bit. First up, multimodal AI. What is it, and why is everyone so excited about it?
Multimodal AI is all about creating AI systems that can understand and integrate information from multiple sources, text, images, audio, just like humans do.
So it's like giving AI a more holistic understanding of the world.
Exactly. It's not just about processing individual data points. It's about understanding the relationships between them, just like we do.
That's fascinating. So what kind of real-world applications can we expect to see from this type of AI?
Oh, the possibilities are endless. Imagine search engines that can understand the intent behind your query, not just the keywords you type. Or think about content creation tools that can seamlessly blend text, images, and audio to create truly immersive experiences.
It's like we're teaching AI to speak our language.
In a way, yes.
That's incredible. All right, what about reinforcement learning? What are some of the exciting developments in that area?
Reinforcement learning is about training AI agents to learn through trial and error, much like how we learn from our own experiences.
Like teaching a dog new tricks.
Sort of. But with AI, we're talking about incredibly complex tasks like robotic manipulation and strategy games. This year, we saw AI agents mastering games like Go and StarCraft at a level that was previously thought to be impossible.
It's like AI is becoming a master strategist.
It is.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit and talk about AI safety, which is becoming increasingly important as AI systems become more powerful and autonomous. What were some of the key discussions around AI safety at New IPS?
Well, one of the biggest concerns is making sure that AI aligns with human values and goals.
Making sure AI doesn't go rogue,
Yes.
basically.
Haha, right. We need to prevent bias in AI algorithms, make sure AI systems are transparent and accountable, and ultimately ensure that humans retain control over AI.
Like we're trying to write a rule book for AI, even though we're still figuring out all the rules ourselves.
Exactly. It's a constantly evolving challenge.
Okay, let's move on to number 4 on our list, which takes us on a trip to Zimbabwe with Sophia the robot.
Sophia, the humanoid robot created by Hanson Robotics, went on quite the world tour this year.
So what made her appearance at the Zimbabwe National Innovation Fair so special?
Well, it was about more than just showing off a cool robot. It was about sending a message. AI has the potential to inspire and educate people around the world, no matter where they come from or what their background is.
So it's about expanding the conversation about AI beyond Silicon Valley and demonstrating its potential to benefit everyone.
Exactly. It was about planting seeds of inspiration and showing that AI can be a force for good in all corners of the world.
All right, let's jump back into the world of cutting-edge tech with number 5 on our list. Multimodal AI models hitting the mainstream.
This year, companies like OpenAI and Meta released incredibly powerful multimodal AI models that can process and understand information from multiple sources. Text, images, audio. It's like AI is finally learning to see and hear the world the way we do.
So how does this translate into real-world applications? Give us some concrete examples.
Okay, imagine a search engine that not only understands the words you type, but also analyzes related images and videos to give you the most relevant results. Or think about content creation tools that allow you to seamlessly blend text, images, and audio to create richer, more engaging experiences. We're talking about a level of human AI collaboration that was unimaginable just a few years ago.
It's like we're finally breaking down the communication barriers between humans and AI.
In a way, yes. We're starting to speak the same language.
And speaking of speaking the same language, let's talk about Apple, which brings us to number 6 on our list.
Apple made a big splash this year by integrating generative AI features directly into iOS 18.
Right. The new Siri is amazing. It feels like you're actually having a conversation with an intelligent assistant, not just barking commands at your phone.
That's the power of generative AI. It's not just about retrieving information, it's about creating new content, making suggestions, and even having more natural, human-like conversations.
It's like AI is becoming a seamless part of our daily lives.
Exactly. And by baking these features into iOS, Apple is making AI accessible to billions of people around the world.
AI for the masses.
Exactly.
All right, we've covered a lot of ground already, but we're just getting started. It's crazy to think just how fast AI is evolving. Like just a few years ago, some of these advancements we're talking about, that would seem like pure science fiction, you know?
I know, right? It's moving at warp speed.
But now it's all becoming reality, and it's happening so quickly.
It really is an incredible time to be following this field.
And speaking of pushing the boundaries of what's possible, let's talk about Tesla.
Ah, yes, the trailblazers.
Coming in at number 7 on our list is the global rollout of Tesla's full self-driving Beta 12.0. Tesla has always been kind of a rebel in the auto industry.
They definitely like to shake things up.
But this move really sent shockwaves through the whole world of transportation.
It's a bold bet on the future of self-driving cars.
So what makes Tesla's approach to autonomous driving so different from everyone else?
Well, most self-driving systems rely heavily on pre-programmed rules and detailed maps. But Tesla, they're doing things differently. Their system is heavily based on neural networks, which means their cars can learn from massive amounts of real-world driving data.
So it's like the car is constantly learning and adapting, almost like a human driver gaining experience over time.
Exactly. Tesla's neural networks are trained on these huge data sets, allowing them to recognize patterns, predict potential hazards, and navigate complex environments with crazy accuracy.
It's a bold strategy, and it's definitely causing a lot of buzz, but it also raises some big questions, right?
Of course. Like, how comfortable are people really with handing over control to an AI, especially when it comes to something as important as driving?
That's a big one for sure.
It's a valid concern, and it's something that researchers and developers are working on constantly.
So how do we build trust in these AI systems, especially when lives are at stake?
Well, transparency is key. People need to understand how these systems work and what data they're trained on.
So no more black boxes.
Right. We also need to see a proven track record of safety and reliability.
It's going to be fascinating to watch how this all plays out. Autonomous driving has the potential to completely revolutionize transportation, but it's more than just the tech itself.
Absolutely. It's about addressing the human element, the ethical considerations, and making sure we're creating a future where everyone feels safe and comfortable.
Well said. Okay, let's shift gears now and talk about Google, which actually has 2 spots in our top 10 list, coming in at number 8 and number 10.
Google is an AI powerhouse. They're always pushing the boundaries.
Number 8 on our list is the launch of Gemini 2, Google's next-generation AI model. What makes Gemini 2 so special? What sets it apart from all the other AI models out there?
Well, Gemini 2 is designed to be incredibly versatile and capable. It's amazing at advanced reasoning, which means it can solve really complex problems and make inferences based on the information it's given. It's also multimodal, meaning it can process and integrate information from text, images, and audio, all seamlessly.
So it's like they took all the best parts of their previous AI models, combined them, and then supercharged the whole thing.
Yeah, pretty much. And on top of that, Gemini 2 is incredibly efficient. It can run on everything from powerful servers to smartphones.
Wow, that's impressive.
And what's really exciting is how Google is integrating Gemini 2 into their existing products.
So we're talking Google Search, Google Assistant, all that.
Exactly. All of these are being infused with the power of Gemini 2. It's making them smarter, more intuitive, and more personalized.
It's like AI is becoming this invisible force that's making everything in our digital lives work better.
Yeah, it's kind of like magic, but it's really just incredibly advanced technology.
And speaking of mind-blowing tech, let's talk about Google's other big announcement, which lands at number 10 on our list, Willow, their quantum AI chip. Okay, now we're getting into territory that sounds like it's straight out of Star Trek. Quantum AI. Break it down for us. What does that even mean?
All right, so quantum computing, it's a whole new way of thinking about computation. It uses the principles of quantum mechanics to perform calculations that traditional computers just can't handle. It's super complex stuff, but basically it allows for massive increases in processing power.
So essentially, it's like a turbo boost for AI.
Exactly, and that's what Willow is all about. It's designed to accelerate the training of AI models, like exponentially faster. It's going to make it possible to solve problems that we never even thought possible before.
So what kind of problems are we talking about? You give us some examples.
Okay, imagine being able to simulate incredibly complex chemical reactions to develop life-saving drugs.
Okay, yeah, that's huge.
Or model climate change with a level of accuracy that was unimaginable before.
Wow.
The potential applications are mind-boggling.
It sounds like Willow could revolutionize pretty much every industry out there.
Absolutely. And the best part is, Google is making Willow accessible to researchers and developers through their cloud platform. So now anyone can tap into this incredible power.
That's amazing. It's like democratizing access to the future of computing.
It is.
Okay, we've talked about all this groundbreaking technology, these ambitious companies, and all these mind-blowing advancements. But our top 10 list wouldn't be complete if we didn't talk about the bigger picture, which brings us to number 9. The EU's AI Act.
This was a huge moment for AI regulation, a real turning point.
So tell us, why is the EU's AI Act such a big deal?
Well, it's the first comprehensive legislation of its kind anywhere in the world. It's setting a global precedent for ethical and responsible AI development.
So what are some of the key principles behind the AI Act?
It takes what's called a risk-based approach. That means regulations are tailored to the level of risk posed by different AI applications. High-risk AI applications, things like those used in healthcare or law enforcement, face much stricter scrutiny.
Makes sense.
And it also emphasizes transparency. Developers have to provide clear information about how their AI systems work and what data they use to train them.
So basically, no more hiding behind the curtain.
Exactly. The goal is to ensure that AI is used in a way that benefits society while minimizing potential harms.
That's a tough balance to strike.
It is. But the EU's AI Act is a recognition that we can't just let AI develop unchecked. We need to be proactive about setting ethical guidelines and making sure that AI is used for good.
It's a conversation that's happening all over the world right now.
It's a global issue, for sure. And the EU is taking a leadership role in shaping the future of AI governance.
It's pretty amazing when you take a step back and think about all the things we've talked about today.
I know, right? It's been quite the year for AI.
From massive funding rounds to groundbreaking regulations, from self-driving cars to quantum computers. I mean, it's been a wild ride.
It really has. And through it all, I think one thing has become crystal clear. AI is no longer some futuristic fantasy. It's here, it's now, and it's changing everything.
Exactly. AI is becoming an integral part of our lives, and it's only going to accelerate from here.
Absolutely. And that's both exciting and a little bit daunting. We're standing at the edge of a new era, and it's up to us to figure out how to navigate it, how to harness this incredible power responsibly.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into the top 10 AI events of 2024, what's the one key takeaway you want our listeners to remember?
I think the biggest takeaway is this. AI is here to stay. It's going to keep evolving at this incredible speed, and it's going to reshape our world in ways we can't even imagine yet. But we don't need to be afraid of it. AI is a tool. And like any tool, it can be used for good or for bad. It's up to us to make sure that we use it for the right reasons, to solve problems, to create opportunities, and to build a better future for everyone.
Well said. And on that note, we're going to wrap up this episode of AI Podcast. We've covered a lot of ground today, but we've only just scratched the surface of this incredible field.
There's so much more to explore.
We'll be back in the new year with more deep dives into the world of AI. For now, we want to wish all of our listeners happy holidays
Merry Christmas.
and a wonderful 2025.
See you next year.